Thoth woke first. He'd been dreaming, or at least he thought he was. There wasn't a clear space between the yawning dark he'd pitched into and the absolute absence of anything he'd plunged through for some time. The further he fell through that holy, black nothing, the less the actual act felt like motion at all, but more akin to a gesture of negation. Holy erasure. But there had been a luminescence, a fleeting flicker of pale celadon out in that dark, dancing behind his eyelids, like the loose liquid light of the stars on the murky Selin River, or the hazy points of his mother's ceremonial candles refracting through the thick perfumed smoke. First, a shimmer, and then nothing, or maybe something more. He felt himself pursue, but not in a familiar mode of movement, something closer to that dizzy will of dreamers. Coming into focus now, he recognized the flitting lilt of a butterfly, or maybe a moth. Elegant, tapered wings beating rhythmically in the stillness, but still sending perceptible currents of air across his face, slowly culminating into this small zephyr which swells suddenly and immeasurably to a strong gust and then a moaning gale, whipping over his face and blinding his eyes and forcing open his mouth and pushing down his raw throat, filling his lungs to the point of burst. He strained his chest, seizing in protest as he fought to exhale, until his body relented to failure and he drew breath in deep. And then he was coughing, heaving, retching dirt and dust and blood. And it was an hour or two after that Brix woke up, the majority of which Thoth had spent an awkward, staggering exploration of their surroundings. The cavern was large, mostly empty, with an unnatural smoothness to its surfaces, some walls bearing curious small panels and odd panes. There appeared to be a small alcove in the opposite corner of the room that he had not yet dared to explore, but seemingly no other points of exit. The inky black above where the boys fell, unbroken by any light, provided no scale or context for how deep they had dropped. He had heard the first sputtered curses as his brother returned to consciousness, and he hobbled his way back to where Brixby lay. While Thoth had likely broken his ankle, suffered countless cuts and bruises, and even cracked a tooth, he was the fortunate of the two. His brother sprawled before him, broken, his legs and lower torso under a heap of jagged stone and metal that was far too heavy to be moved by Thoth's repeated attempts. Blood slowly staining dark the dust around his exposed chest. Brixby looked up at his approaching brother's face, flecking the discolored dirt with more crimson spittle as he let out a hollow laugh.
Could have been worse. Could have landed on me bunts. Remember, I'm the looks and the brains of the family.
Thoth. He felt his face crack into a smile, almost painfully so, as he let out his own hacking chortle. Brix continued.
And we're gonna get out of here, little brother. One way or another.
And Thoth, against all odds, believed him. That is, until he found the dead man. This is Pod Against the Machine.
Pod Against the Machine.
Welcome back to Pod Against the Machine, the only podcast that will try so hard to trick you into fighting the giant evil ground robot that you just give up and fight the giant evil ground robot. I'm your host, and here's everybody.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
You know, I was thinking of a giant evil ground. Oh, sorry, Jeff. Oh, no. Oh, man. Oh, jeez. Never mind. I was going to say I was thinking of an anecdote, and then I cut Jeff off, and now the rest of the pod is going to be me apologizing. Ah, jeez. Oh, gosh. That's how I apologize. I don't just ever say sorry. I just make bummed sounds. Ah. Boy.
We will let this
All right.
go on for an hour.
Please, I don't understand why no one ever just steps in, and it's rude and it's mean.
Well, that's the thing is, like, you should
Right,
know
I
by now,
understand.
though,
That's,
that we won't.
that's I lied. I do understand.
Content. That's why. Because it all counts as content.
Yeah. It's good radio.
Yeah, like, if we had, like, something to symbolize our brand, I think it would just be, like, a clothesline and, like, content just hanging from it, flapping in the breeze.
Literally.
See, I thought you were going to say a clothesline to match the waveform of one of our classic 6 seconds of silence.
I thought you were going to say a clothesline like the sports thing where we just constantly knock each other over.
That one
Not
too.
a fake wrestling fan. You heard it here first. Izzy with the pugnacious pugilist vocabulary.
Hey, is that a wrestling thing? I thought it was football. That makes more sense.
I think it's mostly a wrestling thing.
I never looked up whether freaking Jerry Lawler died or not. I need to follow up that story.
All right, what what happened last time? We recorded 2 recently, and I'm unprepared. So previously,
I think we kicked Ed 209's metal butt, didn't we?
yeah. Well, first y'all left Eidenvey. I think you got some healing, did some shopping, and then bought a cart and hit the road. And on the road, it was so uneventful that we fast traveled it. Found your way to the Smokewood. Found your ways into the Smokewood, where you found a big camp where there were definitely some living beings. And Kira did a super good job sneaking. I remember that very clearly. That -3, I want to say, on the stealth roll. To say nothing of the running chainsaw that kind of rendered the whole thing moot anyways. And then some hill giants emerged, and they were very tactically genius and promised you a sword that cuts metal in exchange for killing the robot. And you tried to get them to kill the robot for you, and it was a whole big thing. In the end, the party gave up, went over and fought the robot that had already killed 4 hill giants. The corpses still lied around it, and didn't go well for the robot. It was a beating. It was very sad. Rest in peace, robot.
Pieces, Sam.
And that's where we are now, standing over the smoking wreck of a once glorious warden robot.
We can't rip any pieces off of this one, can we?
Yeah, can we loot it?
It doesn't look like it really has any removable pieces. It's just a big old hunk of smoking glaucite now. Glaucite.
What about a trophy? Can we harvest the trophy?
With a survival roll?
We have a chainsaw. What's not removable?
Yeah, if you want to hawk off a hunk of it, I won't make you roll for that. You can just hawk off a hunk of this thing. It's not going to get horribly mutilated like a thing made of flesh would.
You know, Kira approaches the fallen, downed robot. Fallen, downed robot. And turns to Asher and gives him a thumbs up. It's like, awesome. Do you want a trophy? And then just starts hacking at it.
Up to 5 hours later, we're sitting in front of a fire and the robot leg is just turning on a spit. We're all very confused as to why it's not working.
Oh, thank you, Kira. I suppose we could, if the hill giants that are within 100 feet of us didn't hear the cacophonous explosions, we could take a piece of this warden robot to them and say, we did it. Now we'd like a sword.
How is everyone looking? Big stuff you got hit. Right. Who else? Was it Asher that got hit? Or was it Halloween?
Alwyn is not down any points, so I'm assuming Asher was the other one that got hit.
For a small amount, yeah.
Yeah, I think we both got hit for a small amount, and then I got hit for a much larger amount, but that was a lie because it was dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was,
That's what I remember.
it was kind of a hallucination,
Yeah.
like this whole group
Mhm.
hallucination thing. They
Yeah.
were imagining what could have been.
Just like that scene from Twilight.
Oh, man, I was going to make that reference. No joke. Only movie of those I saw in the theaters because I was asked to come, and I was like, oh, yeah. I'm sure there's not a whole lot of plot that I need to pick up on between now and then. And stop listening if this is going to spoiler it for you. Don't worry, you don't need to know the plot because the last movie is literally, it's all a dream.
Doesn't
and then
matter.
they're like, yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, I just got Twilight spoilered.
Yeah, there's a massive fight scene that takes up about 2/3 of the movie, and then at the end of it they go, "Oh wait, no, the character with precognition just saw this and then decided not to fight because they saw their side was going to lose."
And then everyone just walks away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is a Twilight podcast.
We're gonna
now.
go. Okay, let's not fight. I have seen all 5 of those movies, but I watched the Riff Tracks version, so I don't feel bad.
I reverse clapped in the theater when it happened. I took the claps out of the air. Did not merit applause. But our laying low of this warden robot sure did. So there's like no... Theoretically, is this like on our way? Or perhaps that we stumble over a random encounter table and I shouldn't be looking at this map to try to figure out a way out of here with all the dynamic lighting that you've done.
Well, it sort of looks like you've come to the end of the cleared path here, and that this map that you're on is not really proportionate to the forest that you're in. It's kind of like this is a big forest, and even like the hill giants that you came from, they were like a quarter mile from where you are now. So you covered a decent amount of ground, but it looks like it's probably bushwhacking from here, whichever way you go.
Yeah, there's not any more clear paths like the one we're on between the hill giants and here.
Yeah, that looks like that's sort of something the hill giants had cleared.
The crater under him. I remember you said something in the flavor description of him that they like guard like vaults or some kind of thing like that. He didn't come up out of a hole in the ground, did he? Is that what that is, or is that just like a crater that he made smashing things?
I believe the hill giant said that it came out of the ground.
Okay, so what is underneath him there? Is that like a hole we could go in? Is that like a tunnel it came out of?
It looks like it's a hole that's about the size of the robot. It looks like it was literally just like sitting in the ground for who knows how long.
Oh, so it didn't come out of a tunnel.
Right.
It just like popped up from being buried. Okay.
It's like a trapdoor spider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they ask, or did they tell us how long it had been? I feel like we talked about how long the robot had been there, but I don't remember what it was.
I don't know that they specifically said how long ago.
That works.
Looking and reading back, I mean, it was recent. They were kind of camped out and trying to decide what to do. You can always ask them. They're very friendly.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're going to go back and make them give us that sword whether they have it or not, right?
That is, in fact, what I was trying to roleplay.
I mean, you do have around this robot, there are 4 dead hill giants in various states of decay. It looks like it's been a few days since the robot made short work of them.
I noticed something interesting about the token size of these dead hill giants.
Yeah, I just made them fit better.
Okay.
Nothing's in
I
proportion.
should say I'm feeling even worse about those ones who refuse to go back now looking at these.
All right. Can we take anything off the giants? Is that a perception?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to just search them, it doesn't really make sense to do a perception check. 3 of them don't have anything of value on them, but one of them, who's in probably the grisliest state of all, actually has a bag on her that has some gems in it, has a little hammer, a very fancy looking little hammer. It's got a little bag in it, like a little empty bag, and a pink rock.
Ooh. Like, does it look Ioun adjacent?
That could, if you wanted to do any sort of spell
That's
crafting.
spellcraft. Yeah. 28.
28 on spellcasting will let you know that you're looking at a pink rhomboid Ioun stone, which is a pretty nice little piece of treasure that grants the wearer a +2 enhancement bonus to Constitution.
That is pretty sweet, and I know exactly who I'd like to give it to. Is
Zero
Lord.
mirror bricks.
No.
Oh, crap, that's right. You wanted to give it to the person to high con, that's
No.
right, yeah, duh.
Well, but Izzy doesn't even have high con. If I remember correctly, Kira has like the same amount of con as Bricks.
I think
For practical.
Really?
I think Kira already has a con
Yeah.
belt.
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
That is-
you
yeah.
do.
They
Oh.
do not stack.
Does it? Oh, it doesn't. It's not like an untyped bonus or something because it's an Ioun stone. Oh. Oh, that stinks.
So anybody looking to get some con?
Who else does a lot of melee? Probably Bricks then, right? Would
Yeah,
he
it
be the
feels
next?
like solid bricks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm cool to roll on it. Like, we don't have to make a utilitarian, centrally planned decision. We can, like, if there are multiple party members that can benefit from this, like,
I don't know what my con is, and apparently forgot how to use my sheet since last week. There it is, ability scores. I feel like I have a decent con. I have a decent con.
what's a decent con for you?
It's a +1. It's a 13.
Yeah, I have one more than you. I have a 14 for con.
Yeah, but I feel like Bricks is up in the fight more than Ioun is. Like, you could use the health more than I can.
I mean, I'm not going to say that I couldn't, but you've come closer to death in your short tenure of being yellow and on this party. And, I mean, Asher went down most recently, right? And, like, we're
Yeah.
totally boned if we don't have the DPS from
Oh,
Asher.
yeah, actually, what is Asher's con? Can you benefit from a
Oh, it's a hot
+2
12.
con?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Alwyn looks at this thing and he just throws it at Asher and knocks him unconscious because of his con. No, he looks at this and he kind of holds it up and he goes, I think this is... It looks like something that can maybe make you feel healthier. I feel perfectly fine, so if someone else wants it, they can take it. And he will offer it to the party, and I'm assuming Asher takes it.
Well, I certainly won't object, since it does seem that it may be benefiting. Oh, you really hit me hard with that stone. I might benefit from it more than some of the rest of you. And what is that nice little hammer? Asher says as this pink rhomboid now joins the +1 to initiative stone circling around him.
The hammer is not magical. It's just a small mithril warhammer, but it's really fancy looking. You think it could get you about 5,000 GP.
Wow. Unless Brixby wants to wield a mithril warhammer.
What's the deal on that small empty bag?
That'd be a spellcraft for the little empty sack.
Is it handy?
Think of that.
Alrighty, that's a 21 with a 6 off the die.
Let's see, is a 21 enough? Yeah, I'll give it to you. You're looking at a bag of tricks. A rust bag of tricks, specifically. I love this item.
Rick, that's interesting.
Trixby.
It's a small sack that appears empty. If you reach your hand inside the bag, you'll feel a small fuzzy ball. You can remove this ball and throw it up to 20 feet away from you, at which point it will turn into an animal.
Oh my god, I had one of these in 5e. I don't think they were called that.
That
bag of
animal
tricks.
will serve whoever drew it from the bag for 10 minutes and then disappear.
Is it still called the same thing? Okay. Is he saying it is? Okay.
It can follow any commands described in the handle animal skill. The different colors do different ones. It's always random. Only one may exist at a time. Up to 10 animals can be drawn per week, no more than 2 per day. I love this thing so much.
This is amazing.
Yes. I didn't realize that was in Pathfinder, because I absolutely had one of those in a 5e game, and I threw a freaking giant elk out of a bag, and it was amazing.
So, well, this is a bag of small, fruity cereal. And from what I understand, Rabbit, this isn't for you at all. No, this bag of tricks allows you to throw an animal, perhaps conjured from a different plane or just lives in the bag, I don't know. But it does your bidding for a little while. You can actually do like a couple a day, some a week. This doesn't really feel like a main hand item per se, but I could think of probably a fun application of this somewhere down the line. If someone wants to hold on to it, we can. Otherwise, I figure we'd just go to the bag of holding. Unless that's an extra dimensional space and it'll explode.
I think it is kind of an extra dimensional
Alwyn immediately reaches into it and throws an animal onto the ground.
space. Bounce me 1d100.
60 even, I think. Is that a 0? Yeah, that's a 0. 60 even.
Well, Alwyn throws the fuzzy ball about 20 feet away, and it turns into a wolf.
Awesome.
So
He immediately runs up and starts petting the wolf.
It has piercing yellow eyes and sharp white teeth, but it is totally friendly to Alwyn.
And I think he will say, until we need to sell this for something, I would very much like to hold on to this item.
Knock yourself out. Holds the bag out. It's like not really useful. All right, so we got a tiny little mithril hammer. We have an iron stone. Very cool. Very glad that Asher's not going to die. We have the bag of tricks. Is there anything else that I'm missing? I guess you just posted in
the gems, but those are
they're
just it looks
gems.
like they're just money. They're not magic.
Okay, very cool. So, here's the thing. Are we going to go back? I don't know how much time any of you have spent around giants, but where I'm from, Chitterhome, the Selling Hills, that's where there's plenty. And imagine the biggest toddler with the strength of an elephant, but the mind of a toddler. Right. So there's just as good a chance that they're going to recompense us for this travail as they will pull our arms off and try to beat us with them. I personally barely exhausted any resources, but I'm also not trying to spill any more blood than I have to. Anybody want to go back?
Do their toddler brains make it more or less easy for them to be afraid of, rational things like chainsaws and giant robot legs?
I've never met a giant before, but I kind of don't want to go back and hurt them if they haven't done anything to us.
Well, they were rude.
So, from what I can remember, and I'm happy to also throw like a knowledge local to make this not years of meta, but since we're not really fighting them, this is really just, and I do know enough from the Gazetteer about, that's kind of near where I'm from. Brix is just like, yeah, I mean, they're superstitious, it's stupid. So you can convince them to do something, but it's just as likely, like a draft horse or something. It'll do your bidding and do it with strength and haste, or beat you to a pulp. So I'm fine to go back. I honestly don't think we need much in the way of a sword that cuts metal. Just kind of looks over at Kira.
I got the impression they may not have been entirely truthful about that reward anyway, so we may as well attempt to press forward towards the tower unless we believe that this information that we murdered this warden robot might perhaps compel them to be more forthcoming, if they even know anything about the tower to begin with.
I think they were probably telling the truth when they said they've never heard of such a place. They said later that they did, but I think that time they were lying to try to get us to kill this robot for them. Which I think is, if I remember correctly, that's what we learned from our roles. Like when they first said, we have no idea what the tower is, they were truthful, and later on it was...
I don't think you did sense motives at the beginning when they were first talking about it. Just later on when they started making promises.
So, Kira finishes ripping the leg off this thing and then immediately drops it with sort of a pout. Just, fine, let's go to the tower.
We did it.
And then mumbles to herself.
Just loud enough so they can hear from a distance. The sound of a banner unfurling behind us.
One of them goes, "What did you do? Are you dead?"
Mission accomplished.
You're gonna have to read the banner.
That's...
Yeah, and we're ghosts now, and we're gonna haunt you because you're jerks.
I don't like that. You should leave.
Okay. But you won't be able to see us because of how we're ghosts.
Well, if you leave, then we win anyways.
Yeah. But whatever. And then Kira...
Reminder that this conversation is happening over screaming from a quarter of a mile.
Absolutely bellowing through the forest. Birds are flying away.
No, we're using those walkie-talkies. Communicators. We left one with them.
Yeah, we canonically gave the giants a walkie.
I want that banter
Cannon.
the entire time we're here. Sam remembering that voice and not turning it into Clarence.
It's so close, though. It's like right on the cusp of Clarence.
Right on the
So
cusp
easy to
of
cross
that.
the Clarence horizon.
Oof. Speaking of heading towards the tower, Asher rolled a 26 National Geography. Knowledge Geography.
National Geographic. Well, you know that...
Knowledge Geography. To try and kind of point him in the right direction.
Well, I don't think knowledge geography is really super helpful for trying to find a tower in the forest you're already in. You could, if you could get above the trees, you could probably see the tower, or you could roll like a survival to try to navigate.
Come here.
Can we just
Get on the disc.
up on the disc?
I get to be Jack, though.
Well, you didn't
Come
call him
on.
a loser, so... Yeah. I don't know what that means, but...
Just let me hold your midriff. Now we're going to go up.
Oh, all right.
And I'm going to go up using my disc feet that I rarely use these days, but it's because we're always in a constrained spot. That's the magical trick floating disc, and I'm using spurn gravity for us to fly up and take a peekaboo.
So, like, how high can you get? Like, you can clear the tree line kind of thing?
Well, yeah, so I have a couple different options. I can either, so my normal disc movement is like 30 feet, so probably not in one round, but I can just straight up spurn gravity, which means I now have a fly speed of 50 feet. My hours...
Oh, so there's no ceiling. You can just keep going up as long as have the time for it. Oh, awesome.
my hours that turn to rounds. So instead of having hours per disc, it turns to rounds per disc, and it's 50 feet. So for the remaining duration of the spell, your fly speed increases to 50 feet, and your disc ignores all altitude limitations. If I didn't do that, then we would fall. If I didn't return back to the ground. For those at home.
Yeah, I was going to say, what happens, like, if you go, okay, so I have 7 rounds of
I
this,
fall.
and, like, for the first 6 rounds you go up. Okay, so you do have
That's
to,
why
like,
I
at
got
the
those
halfway
boots.
point, come back.
That's why I made a big deal about getting those boots. Because, like, I can fly up pretty high, but, yeah.
So, yeah, you fly up about 50 feet after one round, and then another round is enough to get you clear of the treetops. And you can see towering over the trees, almost directly to the south of you, like a little bit southwest, is the narrow, tall tower peeks out over the tops of the trees. I sort of cleared out a arrow pointing that way, and like while you're watching, it sort of like burps out a big cloud of black smoke, and that flies up into the air. You can see it has like a kind of conical top, and coming through that conical top are just like tons and tons of black pipes, and the smoke comes out of those pipes. It's really weird kind of mechanical thing. You can also see like from up that's high, you can see back to where the hill giants are, and you can see another clearing like a little ways off to the southwest, where it looks like there's like some kind of glowing, and that's about all you can see from here.
Asher, what do your insert heritage eyes see?
Well,
That direction.
almost directly to the south, just slightly southwest, I see a thin tower over the trees. It's a conical top with tons of pipes with smoke coming out of those pipes. And another clearing to the southwest, there's some kind of glowing.
Yeah, that one, where I can only sort of see it around your hips, but I insist on being back here.
Oh, of course. It's good for the bit.
Yes, it's stability state. But there's something glowing, like away from the tower. There's the tower, but then there's like...
Knowledge glow.
I think it would take a knowledge arcana to try to figure out what kind of luminescence you're looking at over there.
So we have this awkward shimmy where Asher will try and slide down onto the disc so he can lift up Brixby so that Brixby gets a better look with his knowledge arcana.
But like Asher lifts Brixby with one of his hands covering both of Brixby's eyes. And Brixby, too enraptured in the moment, is like, yeah, there's clouds. Can't see. He rolls a 2 for a 16.
Yeah, you can't tell from here.
Yeah, I mean, it could be any sort of glow, like space sickness glow, luminescent glow, sconce glow. Well, let's go back down. We got like a round or two before this pops out from under us, I suppose.
Oh, new world. New horizons.
We do just a little magical, whimsical dip before going back down. And so, this is... Asher actually saw a little bit better than I did up there. Do you want to tell them what you saw? So you can explain it all again a third time.
Do it again.
It's almost directly south, but slightly to the southwest, there's a slender tower with a conical top and all these black pipes coming out of it, smoke coming out of the pipes. You know, when we first made it over the trees, it made a belch of smoke, but not quite all the way there. But to our southwest, there's another clearing and some sort of glowing, magical something. Could be a sconce, I hear. I couldn't look at you guys. I had to look away.
The whole rest of the episode is just Asher repeating that.
Oh, it's like that old Dana Carvey bit where if there's like a car accident or a fender bender, everyone will come out of their houses and be like, yeah, I was in the kitchen and I heard it, so I came out. And just like say the same thing over and over again.
So, what does everyone want to do? We see the tower, but now this glow. I mean, glow hasn't been particularly good to us in the past, but I'm almost more nervous about not checking in on it.
Is it a choking glow?
I don't think it merited inclusion in the titling of this moment of our lives we're currently in right now. But couldn't really tell from here. There's something odd about it. It doesn't strike me as something that came from the stars.
Well, can we do both?
Yeah.
Maybe we can stop by the glow on the way to the tower.
Yeah, how dense is this forest? I mean, in my mind, trying to skirt around it would probably just add a bunch of time anyway. So we may as well just try and go past it and check on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's all effectively difficult terrain, just like hacking your way through the underbrush kind of thing. Probably only one of you is really prepared for this kind of travel. I can't imagine who it would be.
Asher draws the +1 light hammer.
He's just hitting individual ferns with the hammer.
Just one branch at a time. Yeah.
Turn this place into green juice by the time you're done.
Take that, fiddlehead. So we tromping off to the southwest?
Yep.
As you sort of head down to the southwest, slowly hacking your way through the underbrush and squeezing between the trees where there's just not really any good path because people don't really come here, at least not this way anyways. You come to a sort of thinning out of the underbrush, and the glow hits you before you're clear of the trees, and it's a very faint luminescence, but at the same time it's pervasive. It's just like in the dirt and like in the lichen on the backs of the trees and like in the plants and stuff. If you keep pressing forward, the trees open up, and it opens up into a small glade where there's a extremely pale woman standing there by herself in this very small, well, it's not that small of a glade, but there's a big flat rock in the center of it that's like slightly raised off the ground, and this rock is glowing quite a bit, and then everything else is just all has that faint luminescence on it. Anybody who has knowledge arcana except Brixby, who's already failed, can roll a knowledge arcana.
Does this remind us of the glow from the Manticore cave of radiation or anything, or no?
It's definitely a different kind of glow.
That's all Asher could think of. I wonder if we need the radiation detector, but
That was a 3 on the die for a 12.
This could be anything glowy. Could be a manticore. It's probably another manticore.
I'm assuming a 13 is not going to get us any more than that.
No, that also doesn't help you.
Do we know it's not a manticore?
Not with any confidence. It could be a manticore.
What about the only resident that we see? Is there anything bizarre aside from their proximity to the Glow Gulch?
Is she a manticore?
She looks, reasonably pretty, human-ish, very, very pale, and kind of just like a little bit weird looking, but she'll sort of smile in a sort of absent way and wave to you as you become visible in the tree line. Hello, hello.
Like forest fae weird or like vampire weird?
You would have to roll some kind of check.
Would it be local or would it be nature or?
Maybe like a local kind of thing might be the approximately right thing.
Asher's not sure, with a total of a 9.
Halloween rolled a 9 to give him his second 12 of the night.
Could be anything. Could be a manticore.
Rolled a 3 for a 14. It's not a very knowledgeable day for Brixby.
Oh man, if only these rolls were coming out in a combat, I might actually make a showing. None of you know what this willowy pale woman is, other than a woman hanging out by herself in the woods.
How long have we been standing here in the open staring at her making these rolls? Like, how much time has elapsed?
She waved and said hello, and then it's gotten very awkward very quickly.
Asher will wave back
Just stare at her silently.
and do a cash detect evil if he gets within 60 feet.
Yeah, no evil detected on her.
Has it been 10 minutes? Does Alwyn still have his wolf?
Probably the wolf did not last the whole travel here. It was slow going.
Okay.
But he had a pet dog for a little while. He can always cherish
Yeah.
that.
And it's awesome because animals usually hate him, but this one is magical
This
and
one
has to
has
stay
to
near
like
him.
him.
Hi. Fine day in the forest.
Oh yes, it's a beautiful day here. What are you doing in these woods? We don't see very many people.
We?
Oh yes, my sisters and I. We live in the forest. They're off right now, of course. It's just me, but hello.
I have sisters. They're not here.
Ah, then we have lots of things in common. We're
Uh-huh.
in the forest, we have sisters, and our sisters aren't here.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Kira.
Hi, I'm Thelina.
What you up to, Alina?
Living in the forest.
Oh, that's cool.
There's a horrible monster, actually, that has come into this grove and polluted the place. And my sisters and I are trying to decide how to deal with it. Do you know anything about horrible monsters?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, perhaps you could help us.
Can you tell us more about the horrible monster, just so we have horrible monster context? Oh, this is Brixby, and this is Asher, and this is Halloween.
Hello.
We don't have a wolf anymore.
My name is Alan.
I don't have a wolf either.
More things in common.
We will be good friends. The horrible monster lives beneath this rock. It's a huge insect thing. It's just disgusting.
What does it look like? Yeah, some bugs are like kind of cute. You know.
Like a huge flying bug thing with huge terrible wings. Makes everything glow and sneaks into your dreams at night and gives you horrible nightmares.
Alright, that sounded like a really large firefly up until that last part with the whole dream invasion.
Oh.
But, you know, we have actually dealt with mind invaders as well. Could you just continue describing this while I roll this 20-sided rock in my pocket to see if there's like a... What would you classify this knowledge that you have as?
Some sort of knowledge arcana, I would say. It's some sort of magical creature.
Does sound quite arcane. Alright, let's just 25. That's an 11. See, it's two little lines.
It's hard to say from her description, but I mean, there aren't a ton of huge winged insects that it could be, especially not, magical things that can affect your dreams. And that last bit, that it can affect people's dreams, and the only thing you can think of like that is a star monarch, which is not a horrible monster. It's a sacred animal of Desna, like a chaotic good magical beast that good people love, at least.
Can I, roll a religion to know that? I know you told me, but, haven't actually brought this up. That's Brixby's deity. Y'all thought that I was too critical to have a god.
There's not like a Glonder version of that thing, is there? Is there like an evil version of the same
Could
creature?
very well be. But if you want to roll a knowledge religion.
Alrighty, that's a 19 off the die for a 32. Thematically accurate.
Yeah, I think that's plenty to know the idea of these star monarchs as emissaries of Desna and guardians of the dreams of mortals. Generally good news creatures, not horrible monsters.
Thelina, I may not be the most, theological of our ilk, but what you've just described to me sounds a lot like a star monarch. Do you know the Song of the Spheres? Butterfly, the Desna. You familiar? God of mortals.
She cocks her head to the side and never been much for religion.
Neither was I for some time, but, well, you find interesting things in the dark, and this sounds like a very benign and gentle creature, one that brings the wonders of the stars to the absent mind. I don't know if either, and again, I'm not trying to say anything, but I don't know if either A, this is a horrible monster, or B, that it has been described correctly, because it's very hard for me to reconcile these two. Anybody else heard about one of these? Anyone?
Would my 25 religion check have let me hear about one of these?
I think with a 25, you can definitely concur at least the general gist of it. These are creatures that are sacred to Desna. They're definitely known as good.
Yeah, so he'll say, in my time trying to learn about these, and he does the finger quotes, gods, I did hear about these creatures. They're messengers of the butterfly god. They don't hurt people. I think this might be something else. It doesn't match up with what those do.
And she frowns and sort of looks down and says, well, it's been a horrible monster to us. Perhaps you are also monsters in disguise.
Perhaps we're just not certain based on merely the description what this creature may be. We could have, of course, always consider taking a peek under the rock. I don't think anything could possibly go wrong if we did that. Put our eyes on the creature, as it were, and determine its true identity. I assure you, we are not evil creatures in disguise.
And Asher will give a comforting smile and a diplomacy roll.
You're extremely competent. Extremely competent. 5.
Only a 23.
She's definitely sort of looking at all of you distrustfully at this point, and they'll reveal the rest of the glade instead of just a little sliver of it. She says, yes, why don't you come in? Take a look underneath and you'll see the horrible monster, but don't let it hurt you. Don't let it touch you. That's how it gets into your mind.
Is that the pollution that you're talking about? Mind control.
It can get into your mind if it touches you. It can get into your mind if you sleep.
Can we do a quick sense motive on that? Come look at this, it won't hurt
Yeah.
you. Something like that.
Yeah, come look at this thing that I know does mind control. I'm definitely not being mind controlled to get you to look at it.
Why would you say such
Okay,
terrible
finally a
things?
good roll.
17.
Oh, that rolled off of a 20. 14.
1 for a 6. I believe her. Let me under that rock.
Yeah, she seems like the most honest, upstanding citizen you could imagine, really.
Oh, there it is, +5. So that is a 22.
Yeah, even to Alwyn's suspicious gaze, she seems totally on the up and up.
It's interesting, more out of character, just the crazy android lady under Eidenvey. They will not take my mind. They will not take my mind. And now, hey, here's something that will invade your mind. It's like, you're not evil. Or you have a super cool ability that masks your alignment, which is a thing.
So I guess we'll check under that rock then.
Yeah, so is the rock, like, floating? Like, kinda? So we gotta lift the rock up?
Yeah, I want to just
the
get under
rock-
their crowbar and just...
It's kind of like the back half of it over here is on the ground, and then this half is like 3 feet off the ground. So there's kind of a 15-foot wide, but only 3 foot high opening that you have to crawl through down into the glowy darkness.
Kira will step forward and put her hand in front of Brixby's face and be like, just move this. Just keep that somewhere else.
From what I understand, it doesn't have a fist. I've done a lot of research. You're right. All right, fine.
Yeah, I'm still gonna go down first if I can. Do we have to crawl in? We'll just poke my head in and just take a little peek. Just the rock space.
Well, as Kira gets down to a prone position and climbs down on the ground, she feels a claw rake at her side. Let me just real quick roll an attack roll.
I heard a flaw. It's like, Kira has no flaws.
A 21 versus flat-footed prone AC.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it.
So this previously invisible, horrible, hulking hunchback crone with skin the color of a fresh bruise appears, having just sunk a claw into the prone Kira's side. Let me just roll damage real quick. Just a little bit of damage. Just 10 damage. A free attempt to grab. It's a 30 to grapple.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like fine.
Yeah, so Kira's grappled by this horrible hag-like monstrosity woman, and seems like a time to roll for initiative.
I'd like to shout back to my friends, okay, found her sister, she was lying, run away. You said 10 on that, right? 10 claw.
Yeah, 10 damage.
10 points of hag damage. So is this the lady that owns that cabin you're always at?
Oh no!
Maybe. She's my neighbor.
Oh, that's Sam. That's so Sam. Oh my gosh, Sam.
Since Kira's already got claws in her, what's her initiative?
It's a 13 on the die for an 18.
That's pretty speedy. How about Alwyn?
Alwyn is freaking out over the third crone in the initiative he can see that he does not see on the map yet. But he got an 11.
Alright, and Asher?
Surely bringing up the caboose. That's not the first 4 I've rolled tonight, for a total of a 9.
And Brixby.
It's a 2 off the die for a 10.
Oh, man.
We're doing great. Strike Team Alpha.
I'm really excited for all of you to keep rolling this well. So, Kira, you're up first. You are prone, lying on the ground with a horrible... let's pop her up on the screen there. She looks like a friend. Just a hunchback beast of a friend. Yeah, what do you do?
Well, let's see. I'm gonna go to my character sheet because I'm pretty sure I took something after the 80th time of being grappled by a Sam thing. All right. I'm going to rage, which I can do while prone, right? There's no reason. That's all internal. That's an internal thing.
You just gotta be mad.
Yeah, right.
You're not going to take this laying down. A little bit of prone humor.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand right on up. Or I suppose actually I'll try and break the grapple first. That'll be helpful, hopefully. But I'm raging now, so I'll have a bonus, and I will try and de-grap. That's a 1, so I assume I lose an arm or something.
You just still grabbed.
You voluntarily pinned yourself, snuggling deep into her embrace.
And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna stay here. Okay, well, I tried. I mean, I can't try again because I'm like hasted, right? I don't know how that. You retry a grapple. Okay.
No,
right.
that was your standard action.
All right, yeah. So then, just gonna shout at my friends, "JK, JK," and I'll call it a day.
All right. So our friend Thelina, who's sort of in the back, she's just gonna kind of step to the south a little bit, so she's got the rock kind of protecting her. Actually, she's gonna head south a little bit farther just to get a clearer shot on some of the friends in the forest there. And let me just look up a spell real quick.
Was she gonna cast Bless to help us?
Probably. And she seems pretty friendly. Okay, so she's just gonna... Let me just pop her up there, just so you can see the sort of strange elongated claws that she has, and sort of the slightly weirdish way her skin hangs off of her as she fires off 3 scorching rays. And she can hit Brixby and Alwyn with a fairly straight shot, though you give yourselves partial cover for the trees. Natural 19, so the first one is going to be so much to hit flat-footed Brixbo with a scorching ray.
Yep, definitely.
Just a quick 8, 9, 12 damage. Next one for Alwyn, another scorching ray. This is only a 20 versus flat-footed touch.
Believe it or not, that still hits, even with my +2 from the partial cover.
Much less damage, only 6 damage. And she really didn't like how that one went, so the last one's going for Alwyn too. That is a natural 15, so that's a lot. And much better damage, 14 damage on the 3rd Scorching Ray. That's going to take us to the one that you haven't seen yet, who will suddenly appear from hiding as she had been sneaking around over behind Brixbo. She appears only as she steps up and swings the old claw at Brixby. Not a very good roll at all. That is a 15 versus flat-footed.
Okay, flat-footed? Yeah, that's gonna miss.
All right. You should be happy.
I am pleased. Yes, very happy.
All right. Alwyn is up.
Okay. Alwyn is... It's hard to tell on this map. Am I adjacent to Green Hag?
It looks like you are pretty close to it. Probably not actually adjacent, just because the map's...
So, like, if I were to cast a spell, do I need to cast with concentration? Should I 5 foot, or... Okay.
No, I would say you're not actually threatened.
Okay.
Right?
In that case, Big Purple Hag is gonna get her bones shook, so she needs to make me a save.
But she has bones. Doesn't like that. All right, Big Purple Hag, where is your sheet? It's really annoying that everything says Hag in the title, so the tabs are indistinguishable. Spell resistance?
Yes, it does have SR, which I get a +7 to that. That is a 16 on the dice. That is a 23.
All right, and what's the save? Fort? Will?
Fortitude.
Yes, Fortitude.
All right, that is a 23 on the Fortitude save.
Okay, so that is a partial save. So, can I still move her away?
I don't think you can move her.
Yeah, no, move.
Save.
I can only move her on a successful one. That's gonna try to yank her away from Kira. Okay, so that is 12, so she takes 6 points of bludgeoning damage, and I unfortunately do not get to yank her out of combat with Kira.
On the plus side, 6 points of damage is not nothing.
I'm 66.
All right, Brixby. Oh, Alwyn, any move or anything?
He's not currently in combat with anybody, so I think he's going to stay where he is.
All right, Brixby, you got a little hag friend in your face.
All right, Brixby's gonna roll to cast defensively because you said that we are in non-5-foot steppable terrain, correct? We're in difficult terrain. All right, cool. Righty, just makes it, and Brixby winks out of existence, so is no longer visible, and is going to take a move this way. And this way is southeast for the people that are home that are not Sam. And I'd also like, before the end of my turn, to roll some knowledges.
Oh, crap, that's right. I completely forgot to roll knowledges on all 3 of these people.
These are all knowledge local. If you want to tell me who you're rolling on.
Let's do one clawed, big lady, flying, walking people eater, the purple one.
Go for it.
That is a 10 off the die for a 21.
So you're looking at an Annis hag, which is, your traditional, also known as a black hag or an iron hag. They're bigger and more physically intimidating than your average hag. They're usually like 8 feet tall, 300 pounds, hang out in caves, all that good stuff, eat your babies. You do get one question on her.
Ooh. I want to know what those special attacks are.
All right. As far as special attacks go, she does have the claw bite, and the claws have a free grab. But more menacing, perhaps, is that if she lands both claws, she does get a rend. She's the martial friend of the triplets here.
All right, sounds good. Can I keep rolling?
Yeah. I mean, those are free actions in
Yep.
TF1, but Annis hags give the best hugs, so I don't know what more you want.
I'm gonna go on the one that clawed me next, but I rolled a natural one because I was too busy being like, huh, crap, get away.
So it just seems like a friendly green claw lady.
Okay.
Probably not even a hag.
And then I guess I technically botched my knowledge cloak on the last one, right? Because we failed when we were trying to roll on Thumbelina when we first got there.
That's true. You did whiff on her way back then.
But now that we've seen her like yank her skin off, do we get a second one on her? Like,
Yeah, you probably get another one now that you realize that she's very clearly not human and something monstrous.
I was willing to take the L, but instead I'll take the 17 for a 28.
Ooh. Yeah, with a 28, you're looking at a blood hag. Blood hags are also known to some communities as Susayants. There's no way that was right. They prefer to live near isolated communities or at the edge of civilized lands. During the day, they usually appear as a young human woman, but at night they assume their true form as their skin peels back, sloughs off, and reveals a fiery monster underneath. They're pleasant friends. With a 28, I think you've got 2 questions on her.
Let's do special attacks and maybe magic known spell-like abilities. That and magic known are 2 separate questions, right? Like spells known. And
Yeah.
I want to do spells known.
Well, they don't actually have any class levels, so it's all spell-like abilities for hags.
I want
I'll
to
give you that part for
spell-like
free so you don't
abilities.
waste a question.
Thank you.
Well, you should be pretty happy that you're not fighting her at night, because if she had no skin, she would have the ability to send a 30-foot radius fireball, basically, like, whenever she wanted to. She could also be in, like, the fiery form that just being in her space hurts you with fire. But she can't do that because she's in her humanoid form, because it's the day. And she also, during the day, while wearing her skin, she's constantly under the effect of undetectable alignment, so she doesn't detect as evil. But as far as spell-like abilities go, she has constant detect good and detect magic. She is at will inflict moderate wounds, scorching ray, and spider climb. And 3 times a day she can cast deep slumber if she wants to knock you out.
Oof. All right, Brixby in his 6 seconds, so like, don't know anything about that one. That's Merle Haggard. That's Hagwagon. Those are my 2 musical references. End of my turn.
All right, Asher.
Goodness.
Merle Haggard, Hagwagon.
Yeah, I guess Asher is going to first level his revolver at the Anus Hag and smite evil as a swift action.
She's good. We did just establish she was good.
No, not Thelina Gomez, but the big purple Anus Hag. So, now that she is effectively smote, we're going to do a rapid shot, deadly aim, 3 bullets coming at her.
Don't like it.
Well, one is going to miss, because that was only a 3 off the dice. But the other 2 are both natural 19s. So, feeling real good with that +5 from Smite.
What was the 3 off the die?
Well, with the Smite, it does... Actually, no, those are both at my... So that was the middle one, so it was at my second highest PB. I've played a game before. So that would actually be a 16 against touch.
Yeah, I mean, she's big, and she's currently grappling.
Okay.
16 hits.
Then that is going to be 3d8 plus 30.
Spell resistance on bullets.
I mean, you tell me if mundane rounds seem to do the normal amount of damage. That's going to be 41 points of damage. And if she does have any sort of DR, that only gets taken out once thanks to clustered shots.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't take out anyways because of the smite, right? All right. That did a lot of damage to her. She looks super hurt.
Good.
She's very upset. It is her turn next, so she's probably going to take it out on Kira.
Sorry.
All right. So we have the Annis Hag. She is standing over Kira, currently grappling her. I think she is going to release the grapple because she currently has a prone little half-orc in front of her about to get a full attack. Power attack. No, she doesn't have power attack? Oh my god.
Yeah.
He doesn't have power attack.
Paizo,
Nerd.
come on.
Sorry.
Greater fortitude. Or great fortitude. What is this? Oh, that's a cracked die. 17 for the bite.
Let's see. I'm prone,
You're not grappled anymore. You're prone,
but
so
that doesn't matter. You're not grappled. I am raging though, so 17 will hit.
that is
Yeah,
10
17
damage.
hits.
Claw number 1. That's a natural 1. That's big. Claw number 2 is a 28 to hit.
That is higher than a whatever you just did.
That is 13 damage. And the free attempt to grab, but no rend this time. The grab this time around is a 29.
Blur.
Oh, blur!
But blur.
Alright. So, back to the first
Every
hit,
time.
which was 10 damage. 54 in the blur. Second hit with the grabberoo, and that is a 7 on the blur. So you're not grabbed, and take back those 13 HP.
Will do that.
Your character is broken, and she's banned from the rest of the game.
Yay.
And it's your turn.
Hooray. I'm still prone. Let's see. I would like to get up, and I will deal with whatever comes of that.
Yeah, she's gonna do the old claw on you. As you try to get up, 24.
Yep, pretty sure that's fine. Yeah.
And blur.
Oh, and blur.
35. That is 13 damage, so she gets it back.
Okay. All right.
On the way up for the grab, 24 versus CMD.
CMD. Ooh, 25 CMD. I am okay.
Don't like it.
Oh, I'm gonna hit.
Is that the first time in the entire pod that an enemy has
Yes.
failed to grapple?
I've never
Probably.
not been grappled in my life.
Monsters are good at grappling and getting killed.
Yeah, they all get free grapples and they all get like a plus 20 to the roll.
Cool. All right. So I'm gonna hit her with a chainsaw. Back to the classic. Been a minute. Oh, that's a natural 20. Tiny unicorn on the die. I will
Roll to confirm.
do that. That is an 18 on the die to confirm, so like a, I don't know, 20, 30 something.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Cool. Yes. All right. Okay, so that is going to be 6d6 plus 40. Roll 6d6 plus 40. That's 62, what is it called? Chainsaw damage. 62.
Well,
62 chain.
you get the sense that not all of that went through. Like she had some kind of damage reduction. So her corpse is in slightly better condition than you would have expected.
Yeah, I was about to say, I just noticed you said had in past tense.
Yeah, so she dead.
Well, as standing up and brushing off this damage, like, okay, so I think that she's not actually my friend, and we maybe have less in common than I thought. My bad.
All right, that's gonna take us to the lady with the skin falling off. and she has pretty clearly identified the person who has a chainsaw and is dangerous, and she's gonna shoot fire at her, as one does. Natural 19 on the first one, that's gonna be like a bajillion. On the blur, 99. So, roll 4d6 on Kira. 8 damage on Kira.
What?
Ray number 2.
Oh, okay. It's like, how did you get 8 on 46?
27 versus touch.
Yes.
Only an 11 on the blur. And the third one is a natural 15, so that's just going to be so many. And on the blur, 83.
83 is better than 20.
Good roll on the damage. That is 18.
Ooh, almost looking hurt.
She's going to just kind of step into the trees just a little bit. And then the green hag, since she lost her friend Brixbow that she wanted to kill because he was closest to her, is instead gonna go over to the kid in the pajamas, and she's gonna claw him real quick. That is a 25.
Yep.
Alright. So the damage here isn't very good. It is 5 damage on the claw.
That's never good.
That is not what you have to concern yourself with. You need to make a fortitude save.
Oh, thank God. I only have a +4, but that is a 19 on the die for a 23.
Alright, Alwyn.
So I really hope is enough at this level.
Alwyn manages to fight off whatever this effect was. He feels totally fine. And he gets a turn for his trouble.
Okay, so he is going to... No, that's fine. Okay, I just got to make a cast defensively. I was looking to see, because this is a cantrip, so I'm like, it's got to be like, oh, it doesn't affect anybody with above whatever. But it totally does. So that is a 9 on the die. Cast defensively is a 12, so that is... Okay, that passes that. So he reaches out to touch her, and that is a 14. What is my... that is a 18 against touch AC.
Alright, that hits. Does this allow spell resistance?
Yes, because I have my versus SR thing. That is a 20.
Alright, that gets it.
Okay, she is fatigued for the next 8 rounds. And then Alwyn is going to... can she still... She can probably still attack me at that, so he's just going to 5-foot step away from her.
You can't 5-foot step in the woods?
Oh, in this stuff, yeah, so I'm going to have to risk her smacking me. You know what, I'll just stand here next to her and hope somebody shoots her before next round.
Alright, Invisible Brixby.
Invisible Brixby is going to follow the Blood Hag, Felina, and probably go out to the rock or so. Really want to say something slick, but I'm invisible. Well, I'm vanished, technically. So really don't want to, make myself visible. I know I would have to attack her, but I feel like it really ruins my element of surprise. So he's going to level his hand, and he is going to let loose a ranged touch. Now, do they have... I guess you can just apply your partial cov on your side. I won't take it as a... So, that is... And no, there is no SR against this bad boy. Ooh, that is a 2 off the die for a 12 versus flat-footed touch.
Actually, wait, flat-footed touch is 10, with the cov is 12.
Meets beats, baby. All right, so let's roll that big 1d3 first. That's a 3 of acid damage, and then let's also put on that 4d6 for good measure. That's a 17, bringing that up to a 20 with the sneak attack altogether. And invisible again.
You're invisible again? Oh.
No, I'm visible.
I was gonna say.
With a V. I vanished. I did not waste the 4th level spell on this one.
Maybe next time. And that'll bring us to Asher.
Yeah, seeing how easily, just without hardly any effort, the Anus Hag went down, Asher will take a look at Quasimoda over here and just do a non-smote, deadly aim, full attack rabbit shot. I think between Brick's bow and Kira, Thelina is going to be smote all by herself. So, 3 bullets coming at. I don't think we got this young lady's name. Was this one?
Sadly, it's lost to the ages.
Okay, the last one is surely a miss because she is not large and there is not a smite. That was only a 7 against touch, but the first two are we're looking at a 23 to 25 against touch.
Those will both do it.
It's only 18 points of damage total from the two, and this would have DR taken out once because of clustered shots.
Doesn't seem to resist any damage.
And yeah, no, since he can't 5-foot step, but he can, as a free action, fully reload his empty 6-chambered revolver. He'll do that.
All right, Kira, you're up. You're raging. You are not grappled. There's a dead, purple, bruised lady next to you.
All right, yeah, let's, I want to cross over into... Is the clearing area also difficult terrain?
No, the clearing area is good.
Can I get... I guess it doesn't matter. I can't get over the rock, probably, though. I need to go around it.
Yeah, you gotta kind of go around the rock.
Okay, that's fine. I'll go around the rock and get up into Thelina's face also. Just a quick attempt to chainsaw. That's lower than last time. That's a 10 plus 15, 25 to hit.
A 25 will hit.
That is going to be 28 damage on the first hit.
You only get the one because you had to move.
I did have to move. No, wait, I'm hasted though. But I had to move still.
It's
Every time. I'm going to remember that someday.
Haste. It'll give you either one extra move action or an extra attack on a full attack. But it won't ever give you an extra standard. I wish it did.
Then I will stand here and do nothing.
All right, well, it didn't look like all the damage went through. You did hurt her, is the good thing.
Bet you wish you had your no-skin fireball now, Teresa.
I think she is going to roll to cast defensively. Just real quick.
Oh, I hope she fails this and gets a chainsaw to the face.
She gets it. She got a 29. So I do need a will save from Kira.
She getting sleepy?
Great. Love these. Will save. I'm raging, so I have a tiny little... I've lost all my dice.
A likely story.
Well, that's going to be a 2 on the die, plus a 9 for 11. How's an 11?
Kira falls asleep.
Why?
Oh no, on her chainsaw?
Teenagers.
Oh, she falls right on the chainsaw.
Onto the
and
running
she
chainsaw.
Oh, it's
dies.
No, it's like the friendly wolf. It's just Kira and the chainsaw are so close. The chainsaw is physically incapable.
He's actually wearing a full body version of those pants that have the threads in them that loggers wear that immediately gum the chain
super
up.
Gummed.
Um,
All right, I'm asleep.
yeah, Kira's asleep. I think I'm gonna go to bed too.
Night, Sam.
Oh man. Good night, Sam.
Good night, Sam.
Good night, Kira.
Everyone's sleeping.
Good night, Moonhags.
Except the
Good
dead
night,
one.
everyone.
Is that the
Bye.
first ever episode that ended with a character falling asleep?
Yes.
Against the machine. Against the machine.
Pod Against the Machine is property of its creators, all rights reserved. Pathfinder and the Iron Gods Adventure Path are properties of Paizo Publishing. please visit them at paiza.com for more information. Theme Against the Machine, written and performed by our own Zach. Please consult the show notes for additional music and sound effect licensing information.
My ring light just fell.
That's the suspense.
Pause for ring light.
Oh, it all bypasses DR, so it's just like extra. Yeah, you know what? Boop, got all that out. Means it's staying in. Yeah.